Exactly. These are the energies I'm looking for and more. So, good evening. For the first Accelerator Demo Day at Frankfurt School of Finance and Management, we are very happy to have you here today with us. This is a very exciting evening for all of us here, which represent the climax of this accelerator program, the first accelerator program. Today, 7 amazing startup founders who were carefully handpicked will present their innovative solutions to all of you. My name is Liron Glickman, and I'm very, very excited to be here today. I actually flew over all the way from Tel Aviv, Israel. My day job is being an advisor, a business development advisor for early stage startups. And my evening job is actually being a presenter and a speaker around the world on business development and networking. And I will be your host for this evening. Now, thank you. Thank you. So which one of you, is there anyone here who ever created a startup or his own business? If you want to raise your hands. Okay. Quite a good amount of people. So if you did it before, you may know how irrational it is, right? Like you wake up in the morning, you decide to create your own company, especially for startups. They work on an idea. They don't have any funding. They're actually trying to convince the world that what they have is the next best solution, the next Waze, the next Uber, the next big companies. And they get so many no's, and they still keep on going. So that's very, very hard. But on the other hand, that's exactly how great creations and inventions come to life. Think about it. Almost every touch point in our lives actually made by people who did not give up, who jumped over the fence and fulfilled the dream and the mission to actually create a better life for everyone here. And that's exactly why our startups deserve even another round of applause, because they really are irrational, but doing amazing things. Thank you. So this evening, we will meet our 7 startups and some of the great people who made this event possible. After that, you're welcome to stay for drinks, networking, and meet our startups outside at their booths. And before we start, I would like to give a big thanks to our partners who helped make this evening a great event. Amazon Web Services, AWS, thank you so much. And a big thanks to the Business Angels Frankfurt Rhine-Main. Thank you so much as well. Our first speaker, I'm very honored to invite her on stage. She is the Vice President, Strategic Relations here at Frankfurt School, Angelika Werner. Thank you.
Thank you, Leon. A very warm welcome, good evening from my side, and congratulations to all of you. The Demo Day is the end of the Accelerator program, but as Leron said, it's also the climax, and I guess every one of the startup members who made it today deserves a big round of applause, because this has been a very ambitious program. I had the opportunity to meet some of you and watch you, how you were working so hard and really soaking in all the input you were getting. And whatever the outcome of tonight is, I think you did well. And I know that you learned a lot and grew as people, as human beings, but also gained new insights for whatever life might bring to you. I have been with the Frankfurt School for quite a long time, and many people know what I've been through here at the Frankfurt School. Sometimes I feel a little bit like a dinosaur, but I have to say that it makes me proud to be part of the Entrepreneurship Center's journey. It makes me proud to experience that our business school gradually, but pretty successfully, as the full Audimax shows today, that we foster an entrepreneurial spirit at the Frankfurt School. And there's one person who has made this possible, and I think it's Shoham. And for him, this Entrepreneurship Center is not just a job. He lives it with his heart and mind, body and soul. He brings in his networks, and we are very, very happy to have you. But we should also remember that he has a very dedicated team in the Entrepreneurship Center. Christina, I have seen Karina Schulte, who has been with the Entrepreneurship Center in the beginning, and many others, and I'm also very grateful for their hard work. Tonight, as Leron has already mentioned, we will showcase the first ever generation of startups generated under the wing of Ram and his team. 7 startups, 7 teams of inspiring and passionate innovators will present the results of their hard work under the first ever Frankfurt School Accelerator program. And as I said, whatever tonight's outcome will be, we, the Frankfurt School community, are proud of you. Whatever tonight's outcome will be, we will still be there for you and support you on your path. Keep that in mind. Frankfurt School is a business school, but most of all, we are a community of people, of human beings. So you can count on us that we support you on your development after tonight. And at the reception, I already met some alumni who are also investors and who are keen on learning and getting to know the startup teams. I know that executive MBA students were involved in the accelerator program as advisors and mentors, and this showcases how strong and tight-knit our community is. Also, our keynote speaker has been a very close member of this community. It's our alumnus, Sebastian Merkhoffer. He graduated more than 10 years ago. He is a very successful serial entrepreneur and created consumer brands via social media marketing. I have met him often on campus as he shares his insights, his lessons learned, and he gives very honest feedback to students and alumni on their startups, but also on personal career decisions. So, Sebastian, there you are. I think it's a real for me personally, it's a real pleasure that you are back in the Audimax tonight. I also want to welcome our guests, the investors. Many of them are alumni, business angels, entrepreneurs, many Frankfurt School students and alumni who are curious, which I think is a very good sign. Many have traveled a very long way to be here tonight. The pitches are the main reason why we are here, and I'm very excited to get to know you better, learn about your businesses. At the same time, the networking is also very important for everyone, and I hope that you have time to reconnect to old friends, make new contacts, and expand your network. So, without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Ram, but I'm told I should hand over to Leron, which I do with pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Angelika, Werner, the Vice President of Strategic Relations here at Frankfurt School. And as you said, and I love that you said that this school, and you see from the amount of alumni that is here, is supporting you all along the way, even after you've graduated. And I think that's such an amazing thing to know and learn. The next one is actually Ram Shoham, which is the director of the Frankfurt School of Entrepreneurship Center. But before that, I want to share with you a bit of information about Ram. You may see the waves behind me in this beautiful slide that we have. So this is because Ram is a professional surfer, not only the manager of this entrepreneurship program. He used to ride wild waves whenever he can and whenever he could throughout his life. He even almost drowned twice, and thankfully he survived to share more about it. But he always managed to find a way out, and he takes those skills to his entrepreneurship and management career. And he always tells startups, I even heard him saying that yesterday again, that in entrepreneurship, like on the surfboard, you need to find creative solutions to overcome the challenges, and it's really right for anything in our lives. And definitely, it's worth any minute of the journey. So Ram would share even better than me about his experiences, and Ram, we're really, really happy to hear your words here.
So, Angelika, thank you for the kind words. It doesn't get easier for me to speak in front of an audience. I think the older I get, the weaker I get emotionally, because it is not just a job for me. This is a lifestyle. Last time when we had a full AudioMax, I started by saying I nearly drowned twice in my life. And I told the audience the first time, when I was young and dumb, and it was associated with big waves. But I'm going to tell you about the second time, and I will make it brief, don't worry. But the reason why the second time is very important and very personal is because it defined who I am. Okay, so in the spring of 1996, I qualified for my first international surfing competition. It was a dream come true. As a kid, I've always wanted to compete and represent my country. The images are coming, you see? This is... Anyway, I took a plane, flew to the Atlantic coast, ready to surf, and I was actually hoping that the waves won't be too big, because the Atlantic waves are actually quite different than what you see in Israel. By the way, this is... I grew up in front of this beach in Israel. I woke up in the morning of the competition. I could hear the waves roaring from the window of my room, but I couldn't see anything because the sun hasn't risen yet, so it was dark. And I got my gear ready and headed to the beach, ready to compete. As the sun was rising, it became more light. I could see, oh, shit. Yes, the waves were massive, as predicted 4 days earlier. A big swell because of a hurricane in the US was pushing on towards the Atlantic coast of Europe. These waves were bigger than anything I've ever tried surfing before. But I said, you know, I'm already here, I'm not going to chicken out. So I went to the registration desk, said hi to my fellow competitors, didn't want to talk to them too much because I need to beat them. Signed up, got my gear, did my warm-ups, and jumped into the water. We all, with the other 3 fellow surfers, we paddled to the lineup, where usually the waves break. And I was just focused. These are my enemies. I need to beat them. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. We were waiting for the set to arrive, and the sets were arriving every 3 to 4 minutes. And soon enough, the first set was coming, about 3 waves in a set. And I said, the first one, I'm getting the first one. And I paddled as strong as I can to outmaneuver the other surfers and get in position so I can catch that first wave. And good enough, I did outmaneuver them, and I was in position to get that first wave. So I'm paddling. And that's the wave coming up, yeah? And I'm paddling as hard as I can to get that wave. And unbeknownst to me, Atlantic waves, big Atlantic waves, travel at a really high speed. So suddenly the wave was really coming behind me and was lifting me. And also unbeknownst to me is where the big waves, you really see the difference, because a 4-meter wave, just before it breaks, becomes an 8-meter wave. And it sucks the water level. So it becomes a 10-meter wave. Yes, so you think it's 4 meters, but then suddenly, boom, and it grows on you. So I paddled, and everything becomes steeper and steeper. And just before the impact, just before I need to commit to get down the face of that wave, I hesitated. The lip of the wave took me basically and threw me forward because of that hesitation. And I plummeted, I don't know, 5 stories high, down, hit the water with impact. The air in my lungs got out, which is very bad. And maybe, I don't know how many tons of water was crashing on me and sent me to the bottom of the ocean. My ears were exploding. I didn't know up or down. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm cutting it short because I'll start crying. So I'm telling you this for 2 reasons. The minor thing is, with every entrepreneur would know, you have to commit 100%. There's no hesitation. And I don't need to elaborate on that. But the biggest lesson was that my fellow surfers were looking out for each other. And they saw I wasn't surfacing. And they put themselves in harm's way, in the impact zone, to come and rescue me. I ended up, not because they rescued me, but I ended up becoming best friends with all the surfers in the European Professional Surfing Association. We were competing against each other many times. In the water, yes, we were competing against each other, but out of the water, we were motivating each other. We were supporting each other, we were there for each other, and that's the spirit. And the reason also I came up with this story I wanted to share with you today is because the last 5 weeks at the Frankfurt School Accelerator is what I saw with the teams. You were really there for each other. It just brought so much joy to see you day and night, late nights also, just consulting and helping each other. And you're all in the same thing. You all want to get investors. You all want to get the same clients. So in a way, yes, you are a bit competing, but you really supported each other. And that is the spirit. And whatever you take from tonight, take that spirit with you for the rest of your lives. Well done, startups at the Frankfurt Accelerator, the Frankfurt School Accelerator. I made it past this speech. That was good. Actually, I'm celebrating my 1-year anniversary at Frankfurt School. I started February last year, and look what we've achieved. So this is a real demo day. This is what it's supposed to be. So thank you all my colleagues as well for the support in the last year. Big round of applause. I want to thank my second-year teacher, no, this is something else, sorry. The volunteers today, you also deserve a round of applause. We have tons of volunteers that help checking in and everything. Now, people think it might be easy to run an accelerator. Yes, to put the things together, maybe. But at the end of the day, the value comes from the content. And the content are the people. And we've brought amazing mentors through our network to really come and meet the startups and give them ideas, give them sounding feedback. So there's too many mentors. We had, I don't know how many mentors, probably around 60 of them during the last 5 weeks, so very intense. I cannot mention all of you. Are some of you here? Can you lift your hands? Some of the mentors are here, you see. So really, thank you so, so much for your time. Big round of applause to the mentors. We had workshops, just so you understand how intense this was. An accelerator, we're really accelerating 2 years of business development into 5 weeks. We had companies that took half-a-day workshops with the startups, and I do have to mention them because this is their bread and butter at the end of the day, and they managed to come here. Mind-clip behavior, they did team coaching and giving feedback. FPS Legal, they gave a workshop on term sheets. Auric Legal talked about virtual stock options. Hoka Energy, agile methods. Vosius Legal on IP and trademarks. DiFirma did 8 workshops. The guys are there, right? Yeah? 8 workshops on each individually on basically digital communication strategy. So if you're looking to improve your digital communication strategy, those are the guys. Anne Vyasnes, she's here tonight. She gave a workshop on ESG. Daphna, I hope she is on the live stream. She's in Jerusalem at the moment, but she trains the startups for the pitch tonight. Reuven Ulmansky and Michael Mizrahi, both are sitting here. They're VCs from Israel. Reuven talked about preparing for a VC round, and Michael about startup valuations. Daniel Hoffinger and Martin Rocho talk about bootstrapping and KPIs, super important. And last but not least, Liron Glickman gave yesterday an amazing workshop on sales training. So a round of applause to all of you that have brought this content. The last thank you comes to my wonderful team, of course. Christina, stand up. Badi, Gautam, Kai, Sadra, over there. This is proper. Well done, guys. This is proper. And yeah, just to leave you with a call to action. Every startup has to have a call to action, even myself. The 7 startups pitching here, they're not getting on stage. If they would not have gotten on stage had they not been ready. They are investment ready. We vouch for them. We worked with them. These are hard-working teams, and this is why they deserve to be on stage now. So talk to them, connect them. If you're clients, if you're investors, they'll be out there. Without further ado, have a great evening. Let's network and make it a good event. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram, Shoham, and congratulations on your 1-year anniversary. Good. So I'm sure you're waiting to hear the startups. Are you ready for them? I think you're not ready enough. So I want to bring another keynote speaker before we're really going to go to the startups. But this is actually a very special keynote speaker. First of all, he's an alumni, so we already love him. I'm talking about Sebastian Merkhoffer, the founder of Excelling Ventures, and he is an alumni and serial entrepreneur. Now, Sebastian actually has founded several startups. He knows the ups and downs. He experienced the journey, and he's here to share about his experience and give us some tips and insights. Sebastian, I'm very honored to have you here on stage.
Thank you. Okay, so really good to be back at Frankfurt School after all those years. Today I'm here to talk to you about entrepreneurship as a journey towards your dreams, a journey towards self-fulfillment, a journey that might be life-changing for many of you, and a journey that for you guys is just about to start. Okay, so 10 years ago, as you guys, I was studying here at Frankfurt School. I did a bachelor in business information systems with Professor Rosbach. And back then, the Audimax would not be so full of people who want to become entrepreneurs. Instead, there would be probably 2 or 3 sitting here right now. So thanks again to Ram and his team to organize all of that. It's amazing to see the transition from Frankfurt School from boring bankers to exciting entrepreneurs. Yeah. So This thing is not working, I'm trying here. So as all other people who were studying at Frankfurt School, I also worked for a bank back then. It was a really large German bank, and while I was studying, I was working for 3 days a week for this large German bank in different departments like marketing, finance, IT, and I even worked for some time in risk management in New York. So this was a really good experience, and at the beginning of this experience, I was thinking about the people that I would meet there, and I was thinking, you know, those people, they would be really inspiring young people who want to, you know, challenge the status quo, build up something, and have a great career, and yeah, leave something behind, so to say. But what I really saw was this. I call them the corporate zombies, yeah? So actually I saw during those 4 years working for the bank, I saw people that were old, tired, frustrated, not only with their jobs, but even with their lives in general. Because you could see in their eyes, they were doing a job that they didn't like, they were living a life that they didn't want, and they were living mostly for their weekends and for their holidays. But basically the majority of their lives, you know, their life would suck. So after having this experience, I decided I will never become one of those guys. I want to do something completely else. So while my friends at Frankfurt School, they all went to work for the zombies at the banks, I went to Berlin to do something completely different. I became an intern again, working for a startup, earning 600 euro a month. And I told myself, okay, learn before you earn, right? So actually, my first day, I still remember, at 8 in the morning, I was already at the offices. You know, I wanted to be super early there, right, on the first day. And then I went into the office in Kreuzberg. Probably some of you know, it's 10 years ago, it was a really rundown area, very poor. And I went into the offices, and I saw a complete chaos. There was no one there, only empty beer bottles. And I was thinking, oh my God, where did I get myself into here? But at the end, then people slowly started to come in, and I met many of those people, and they were really great. They were finally young, ambitious people who wanted to build up something. There was a great culture of working together as teams, building up great things for the customers. And then I also met the founder of this company. He was back then 25 years old and just sold his company. And I was like, okay, you know, what this guy can do, I can do as well. So I went back to my hometown to live with my parents, because back then I didn't have any money, and my parents have really humble backgrounds. Our town is close to Wiesbaden, and I went back to the room where I was risen as a child. And back there in this house, in this very humble environment, thinking about you know, what to do, what company to start. And back then, there was a book called The 4-Hour Workweek from Tim Ferriss. I can highly recommend to all aspiring entrepreneurs to read it. And I was reading it, and he told in his book, basically, hey, just find a product or service, you know, that you can market online, that has a huge market, a lot of customers who will buy that, a high margin, and is easy to ship. And since I was always a very healthy guy, drinking a lot of tea and being interested in, you know, sports, healthy nutrition, and so on, I had a look at the tea market. And tea drinking back then would be having a very dusty image, yeah? So it was kind of uncool to be drinking tea. It was kind of more for the alternative people. And back then, I would still already appear to university with my green tea and drink my green tea, and people would look like, strange, this guy, you know, this tea drinker, it's really weird. And I wanted to change that and make tea drinking cool again and make it a healthy lifestyle drink. I also had to look at the market in the supermarket, yeah? You can see the incumbents here, or the competitors, and you can see that basically they were selling all the same stuff, yeah? Chamomile tea, peppermint tea, fruit tea, and in between you would fall asleep because it's all the same stuff. And they would all sell basically offline and at really low price points. And I was convinced that there was a market for me to bring this online and make it more healthy and lifestyle. So every good business idea starts on Google, right? I went to Google, Googling for, you know, who can actually bring me this tea. And I called 10 tea suppliers. And they all turned me down because, or 9 of them turned me down. And they told, hey, we need a tax ID, you know, we have a minimum order quantity of 10,000 euros, whatsoever, nothing that I could pay for. Only the 10th call that I made was a company that then I worked until the real end with them together. And you can see my first order for 170 euro. I ordered the tea to my parents' house, and all the house would smell crazy like tea. So I still have really good memories for that. Then I was Googling, okay, how to package this thing, tea packaging. And I would ask my sister, who was back then kind of able to use Photoshop, hey, can you please design a label? She came up with the label. And then this, as you saw before, was the final product. So I built the website. I knew how to code a bit from the experience at Frankfurt School, learning to code. And then I needed a marketing channel. And I tried everything. I tried Google AdWords, paid social, everything. And nothing worked really. Until I found this new social media network called Instagram. This was in 2014, so pre-Facebook acquisition. There was only pictures. There was only few people on there, right? And I saw that there were actually people that had 15, 20,000 followers. And this was a true reach, right? So with my private profile on Instagram, I contacted them and I sent them a message and told them, hey, do you want to try my tea for free? I will send it to you for free. I just want 2 pictures in exchange, right? And back then, this was a complete different time than now. Everyone would say, yeah, just send me your tea. So I got my cousin. I asked him to help me packaging all the tea. We went to the local post office and we would send the tea to all those influencers, as they were not called back then. And of course, little did we know that we were at the true forefront of something that would become a huge industry of influencer marketing, worth billions and billions of dollars. And every time one of those influencers were posting, I saw tons of orders coming in, and the store exploded over weeks. So I started hiring the first team. Here you can see our first humble office. Was just a small room. They were all interns. The guy you can see on the phone there, he was my first full-time hire. He was there to address the French market. He told me he can speak French. Only later I found out he couldn't speak so much French, but still. Somehow. And then when he did the telephone calls with the French influencers, he would always take the phone, kind of go out of the office, so no one hears him, what he's saying. And this was really funny, but still, he managed to grow even the French market. So we took this thing of influencer marketing that worked out really well. I didn't need any financing, so I bootstrapped the whole company. And we grew into more and more employees, doing the same thing in different countries, so bringing influencer marketing as the first one to Italy, France, Poland, Spain, and all those countries. And we grew to a company of more than 90 employees. And we were back then sending about 300,000 teas every month to our customers. So this was a really great experience. And then I was thinking, hey, this influencer marketing channel, actually besides tea, there should be, other products on that. I had everything, right? I had the online shop, I had the logistics center, I had the developers, and I had all the influencer database of thousands of influencers through all those countries. So I talked to some friends, investors, other entrepreneurs, and I told them, hey, I have this thing called influencer marketing. I've discovered it, and it's working like crazy. I bootstrapped the full company until huge revenues. And so we decided to set up 2 other companies on that. Hello Body, our cosmetics company, and Oceans Apart, which was our fashion company back then. And also those 2 companies would grow really large, employing hundreds and hundreds of people. And then at the end, we ended up selling all of them. Some to strategic acquirers and some to financial acquirers. Some of those you might know. And so, yeah, this was my entrepreneurial journey. But now let's talk about yours, which is just about to start, right? So reason to be really excited for that. The best time is the first years. Ram asked me to come up with some advice for your journey. And I was thinking, okay, what can be some guiding principles that you can use to navigate your journey? The first principle is coming from the beautiful country of Japan. And it's called Ikigai. It's a Japanese philosophy for a long and happy life, but it very much applies also to entrepreneurship. It means that you bring together what the world needs, what you can be paid for, what you're good at, and what you love. And if you bring those together, there's large opportunities that can be created with that. And you can see also, if you look at some of the most successful entrepreneurs like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, or Elon Musk, they come from a personal conviction for something because they are really convinced of one thing personally, and they bring this thought into a company and into a movement. So based on your Ikigai, choose your own way. Don't take the right way or the left way because this way worked for someone else, you know. Instead, go into yourself and ask yourself, what's the right path for me? And take your very own way. Of course, during your journey, there will not always be sunny weather like before. There might be clouds, you know. There might be some big waves like Ram was talking about. And there might be even thunderstorms. And there will be moments where you will think, what the fuck, I will give up. It's not worth it. It's so difficult. You know, you will have countless sleepless nights. In those moments, the most successful entrepreneurs are really resilient. And they overcome each obstacle after each other. So really being resilient, putting in the work hours is super important. And sacrifice. In other situations, you will find yourself like that. So other people telling you what to do, yeah. Your parents will tell you don't do it, yeah. Like my dad back then told me, you know, go to the bank, work for the bank, it's a safe job. Or, you know, your friends or some colleagues will tell you don't do it. Then while you're working at work, your co-founders will tell you, you know, let's do this strategy, but you will say, no, let's do this other strategy. Other people will tell you, focus on customer service. In those moments, it's important to stay really focused. So since startups have already, by nature, very few resources, right? You need to focus on doing few things. Don't do everything at 10%. Instead, do one or two things at 90 to 110%. In other situations, you might find yourself during your journey taking a wrong way when the customer is not buying or the product market fit is not working out. In those moments, it's important to step back, learn, and adapt. Just take the other way. And do like that in a very continuous circle. So those are my 5 guiding principles for you guys. Again, you are just about to start your journey, so reason to be really, really excited. And with your journey, I wish you best of luck. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, it works. Sebastian, really, thank you so much for making the trip to be here with us tonight. I'm going to ask maybe 2 questions. The first one is, you didn't really mention about those exits, those 3 exits, but it's something you won't talk about, but I need to ask, and every entrepreneur wants to know, in a way. How does it feel to make 100 million exit? Or 350 million?
Yeah, it feels amazing, of course, to do exits. And I think like it's a life-changing moment, right? Because I'm from a very humble family. I've never seen all those zeros and stuff on the bank account. It's simply crazy. And it's completely life-changing. But still, you know, I started the company and I told myself, you know, at some point I will sell the company. And then you sell the company, you know, for 2 weeks you do holidays, you enjoy the zeros. And then after that you get bored and want to do something else, right? So it's not the end. And instead I know many founders that sold their company and then they fall into a deep black hole, yeah, because they don't have purpose in life anymore. So you need to really find a purpose again.
It resonates with if I catch my perfect wave, I don't sit and dream about it. I want another one. Very good. And what about you bootstrap? That was quite amazing. What were the benefits? And once you did get investors on board, how did you deal? What did that teach you?
Yeah. So I think there's no right or wrong. As with everything in life, you need to make your own choice, right? For some, bootstrapping is the right thing. For others, you know, large financing rounds is the right way to go. It depends on the personal preference, but also on the model, the product, and many things like that. Of course, I bootstrapped my first company, which was a great experience. But of course, at the end, you know, the growth might be slower. You know, you need to figure out things. But it makes you really creative, because if you lack money, you need to do something different than anyone else, yeah? And so I found this thing with influencer marketing, and I probably would not have found it if I would have been poured $1 million or 2 million, and then I would have just been doing what everyone else is doing. So few money is good. It makes you creative, finding new solutions to problems. I've seen many companies that receive millions and millions and millions and millions, and they don't figure it out because they do what everyone else is doing. So it's good to have few money, but it's the choice of taking financing or not really depends. And then the experience with investors also depends. There's good and bad investors. It's important to do your own due diligence because later it's like in a marriage. You will be together for many, many years. And choose your investors wisely that can really not only invest some cash, but also bring some strategic value and help you.
Thank you. Yes, both Angelika and I have a personal present. I want to bring one of my friends from Israel that's here in the panel today managed to get this signed by Saul Zinger. It's the book Startup Nation. I recommend every entrepreneur to read this book. So you have a signed copy here.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank you. And Angelika, please.
Thank you. Yeah, perfect. Extremely. I will wear it immediately.
Yeah. I hope you like it.
Absolutely.
Give it a hand.
Wow, thank you so much, Sebastian. What I loved your story, and specifically, some of my main takeaways were the guts, the chutzpah, the creative thinking, and obviously a very inspiring story and point. So thank you so much for that. All right, almost about to see our 7 wonderful startups. So this is how it's going to work. Each of the startup will come on stage for 5 minutes speech, sharp. After those 5 minutes speech, they will have about 3 minutes to answer our panel, our respectful panel's questions. So we're gonna have 7 startups, 8 minutes for each one. And I just ask for our panelists to introduce themselves, kind of a sentence on each and every one of you, so we will know who is actually going to judge and ask their questions. Yeah, Michael, if you want to start. You want to stand up, possibly, so people could see you.
This one? Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Michael. I'm the head of the startup investment at PeopleEat and the chief analyst at LaunchIt Capital. Both of them are VCs from Tel Aviv. We heard from Sebastian's about good investors and bad investors. We're good investors.
I'm Reuven. I'm an investor. I hold 2 VCs, not in Tel Aviv, in Jerusalem. We are better, I think. But in order to make it, I'm also a university professor in entrepreneurship for the last 25 years. Thank you.
Hello, I am Werner. I'm a former alumni here at Frankfurt School. Actually, I was an ex-founder, started 2 startups, joined the dark side 2 years ago. Now I'm a VC investor as well in Berlin at GMPVC, but I also run a small family office, also in Frankfurt, actually. And yeah, thank you very much for having me tonight.
Yeah, I think you know me already, so I don't have to say anything. I pass on.
So I'm the last one in this row. I'm business angel now since end of the 90s. I'm privately active. I'm also co-founded companies. And in the Frankfurt region and the Hessen region, I'm heading some of this angel network and so trying to actively, how should I say, build up the startup community from the investor side. So happy to cooperate.
Thank you so much, our panelists. Thank you so much. Now that you know them, it's time for the real deal. So I want to hear you again, but this time from the heart. Are you ready to see your startups? Woo! Yeah. All right. First startup is Homestead. And what you need to know about Homestead, actually about their co-founder, is Annika Wrebski. She is a bachelor student here from Frankfurt School. She's a former professional tennis player. Then she worked for Morgan Stanley. And when she discovered her passion for the entrepreneurship and startup world, she is unstoppable. So, Annika, please join us.
What if we could experience real emotions and feel engaged when looking at products or ideas online? Well, one thing is for sure. The brands that manage to do that will definitely have a great time. Our bank accounts, maybe not so much, but still, it would be wonderful. Let me tell you why. Let's take purpose-driven brands as an example. The ones selling sneakers made from recycled plastic, the organization fighting against hunger in Africa, or maybe the energy provider from nearby with a really great product he wants you to know about. Now, these brands are all very aware of their purpose and the reason why their products or ideas are so out of the ordinary. But these brands currently have no place to make you experience these values, appreciate them, and really stick to their brand. Why? Because they disconnect their long mission statements, their user journeys, their educational content from their product pages and shops that just look like any other. So, let's solve this problem and turn all this into one incredible experience. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Because suddenly, this brand is telling a story that you will remember while shopping for its sneakers. And in the meantime, the brand actually also has a great time, because this 3D environment can accelerate its performance significantly. Conversions can improve by up to 35%. Brands can create an increase in trust and emotions, and also a higher word-of-mouth activity, because you will definitely be more likely to mention this experience to your friends. Now, I think we all get the point here. Now, this is what we do. We provide brands with a no-code tool to create such 3D environments within minutes and then integrate them on their website. They are easy to navigate. We tested it with our parents. They're accessible from all your devices, meaning mobile, desktop, and tablet. And it works with a simple subscription model for brands, meaning they don't have to pay for this 50,000 euro service, but only 50 euros a month, and still improve their performance. Remember in the beginning, I showed you how we could transform an e-commerce store? Now, for those of you that aren't fashion victims and rather do some good, let's take another use case. Imagine the following situation. You want to donate some money, but before giving it to a random charity, you have to believe in it and trust the organization. Now, if instead of looking at a blank page and a long list of projects, you could experience where you help and see where your money flows, most of you would be much, much more likely to make a donation here. Now, let's take a look at our market. We are currently operating at the intersection of the global website builder market, valued at around 124 billion US dollars, and the mixed reality market, valued at $58 billion. And at the moment, there are no competitors out there providing such a tool as we will. But there are some simpler solutions, such as Theer, and also some agencies creating environments, most of them in a more gamified and metaverse style, however. So where are we at right now? We have now finished our MVP and are starting to bring first test clients online. As long as we're still here at Frankfurt School, we will develop custom projects for clients. And in the meantime, while serving them, we will use and further improve our no-code tool, which we then want to launch officially later this year. In the medium term, we will implement more and more AI-based features to simplify the entire design process. And ultimately, we aim to even replace websites entirely in some sectors. Last but not least, who are we? So Jordi and I are the co-founders of Homestead. Jordi has been building products and working on startup projects since he was 15, while I personally have been playing tennis professionally and then gained some experience in the finance world. And now, we've joined forces with two developers, Max and Igor, who have previously worked for clients such as Canva and Netflix. So overall, we believe that we have a great team to make it work and to really help companies turn their brand into an experience. We want to revolutionize how brands present themselves online. And in order to do that, we will soon raise our pre-seed round of around 400,000 euros. So if you're an investor or a brand that wants to join us on this journey, please come talk to us. We're excited to meet you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Annika. Panelists, any questions? Right?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. What can prevent others to do the same thing that you're doing? Or in other words, what are really the main barriers of entry for others? Where is your advantage really?
Right, so this is an important question that we often face. Firstly, I want to be realistic. There are a number of very big and resource-heavy brands out there, such as Wix or Webflow, that are looking to expand into new sectors or spheres. But one thing's for sure, if such a company that is so big and heavy starts to build such a solution, then it has to be integratable into its current offering, and this means there are immense requirements to make it work. Going along with a very, very long time frame, it's going to take this company to do that. So we are much more agile here and have an advantage in that case. But also, we're currently looking into ways how to protect our solution, how to protect our IP, and are here looking into things like patents, design-wise, and also of our tool.
Okay, maybe another quick question? Yeah.
I have to admit, I already know the team, but I never heard the pitch, to be honest, this way at least. Thank you very much. But aside from brands and e-commerce, which other sectors do you yourself in the future using the solution?
Right, so first of all, we see much broader use cases. We think that things like user journeys or educating people on very, very complex topics can actually be much better done in 3D, because the experience that you have is much more interactive and memorable, so it makes things stick. And that's why we think we could theoretically move into any sector, but things that we want to go into next are firstly e-commerce and NGOs, because of the emotions and the trust. And then we want to look into the education space and also maybe the finance space, where it's all about, again, trust and a memorable experience.
Thank you very much, Annika from Homestead. Thanks a lot. All right. Okay, our next startup is Julius Gerhard, the founder of TrustSpace. Now, he did his bachelor's here at Frankfurt School 3 years ago, after which he did a master's degree in innovation and entrepreneurship in ISADE, Barcelona. He worked in the investment banking industry before focusing on the startup space. So, Julius, the stage is yours.
Now the mic works. Great pitch, Annika. I might think about rebranding our website now. All right, my name is Julius. I'm one of the co-founders of TrustSpace, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about information security today. Before we start, quick show of hands, who does not know the difference between information security and cybersecurity? Okay, that's a lot of you. I guess also many of you don't care, which you're in great company with, because most SMEs in Europe don't know, don't care either. And that's a problem for them, because they should care. How to protect their company essentially from external threats. But because they don't know how to protect that, information security is an organizational problem rather than a technological problem, because the company can generally be protected from a technical standpoint. Why is it a problem? Nowadays, a lot of, actually tens of thousands of companies in Germany and beyond need to have certain IT security certificates in order to work with large companies, Volkswagen, BMW, AXA, many insurers, and so on. But why can't they just get one of those certificates and then be all good to go? Because information security is not cybersecurity. It's not just having an antivirus program on every laptop and having your firewall resilient, but you need to have your employees trained. You need to monitor assets and according risk continuously. You need to assess your vendors and so on. And that in the past was only relevant for large companies who had the resources to do that. Now SMEs have to do that as well in order to work with those larger companies, and that's why they are facing massive challenges. How we are solving that at TrustSpace is we are essentially helping them with our software as a single source of truth for information security. We manage all their processes, management processes in terms of information security as well as cybersecurity measures, and essentially speed up the process to the certification significantly by, for example, automating evidence collection processes that are required to get the certificate and then also maintain it. Where we place competitive-wise, obviously, as in every great startup pitch, we are top right corner in the competitive matrix, but I can also tell you why that is the case. In the past, only large companies protected themselves really holistically. Now SMBs have to do that. There are no solutions for SMBs. That's why we are positioned top right and not among the niche players that are already currently in the market. The market itself, I think we can all agree on, cybersecurity is a big market and already a growing market. What's more important, in my point of view, than the sheer market size is the market potential. I'm not going to go into detail here with a slide, but the one thing I want you to take from that slide is that you see different segments of information security that most companies need to roll out in order to get the certificate. And for most of those segments, penetration is even down to 1%. That means that only 1 out of 100 companies has those measures enrolled. And now the penetration rates are going to increase significantly due to those requirements. And we are exactly essentially positioned there with TrustSpace to be the partner for many SMBs to leverage that potential. How does our business model look like? We are essentially a traditional, if you want, SaaS business. The current fees we are charging to customers is between 10 to 35,000 euros, which is expected to grow in the future even more. And with those ticket sizes, we currently already onboarded the first clients. We have more than 100,000 euros in annual recurring revenue already generated, and which is not on the slide, but maybe also worth noting is that we already collected first investment of around about 400,000 euros. For this year, we are looking at raising our seed round to expand partnerships, very important go-to-market for us, plus by that enable then essentially come up with 750,000 euros annual recurring revenue by the end of the year. Who's in our team? We're currently a team of 9. 4 of us are today here. Masi studied information security law, so really knows the vertical we're operating in. Ankit is our head of engineering, who is currently leading our team of 5 software engineers. And we have quite a stellar team of advisors as well. If you want to join that one way or the other, let me know after the pitch, either outside or you can scan the QR code and we can get connected on LinkedIn. Maybe to sum it up, in the beginning, most of you showed you don't know the difference. As I said, you're in great company with most SMBs in Germany and Europe as well. There's a huge market need now for an information security software for those smaller companies. With TrustSpace, we are positioned very good time-wise as well as product-wise. And if that sounds like an interesting case to you, very happy to chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, I'm sure our panel would like to ask you some questions. Yes? Michael?
Working. So how are you going to scale up? Selling to SMBs is much harder than selling to large corporations.
Yeah. When we started, for example, Volkswagen didn't have the requirement to have mentioned certificates. So that changed since then and made the vertical much deeper than we initially expected. So we're really focusing on SMBs for the next 2 years, I would say. Nonetheless, we already got approached by a couple of customers. We're just onboarding a customer that's, I guess, in between SMB and corporate, which is, I guess we can disclose the name as well. We worked with Sennheiser. So we're moving into that direction more and more because our software really enables companies to manage processes over time, not receive the certification once, but to maintain it over time, which is crucial. So we prospectively will also move into the segment labeled as enterprise, if you want so.
Okay, please correct me if I'm wrong, but so I guess you already kind of reached product market fit, but
in the process still.
In the process still, okay. are you using the funds for more growing the sales team, or are you really more focusing on the product these days? Because as my colleague already said, SMB sales is super hard.
Yeah, it's both. Obviously, we are a small team, and our current focus until today was product development, and product development is going to be a huge part of it because we are a very product-driven company. Nonetheless, obviously, we're also going to double down on sales because, as said, we are already positioned relatively good with the product, so really can put pressure on sales funnels now.
Thank you very much, Julius. TrustSpace. Thank you very much. All right, next one is SplendEd, and what you need to know about SplendEd's co-founder, Rishabh Gurisaria. He actually graduated from the International Baccalaureate program. His passion for revolutionizing the education tech, the ed tech industry, evolves from his own experience as a student, which he will share with us very soon. When he's not optimizing his company, he actually enjoys getting the team together for adventures and treating them with some culinary masterpiece of his own. Without further ado, Rishabh, SplendEd.
Let me start out with a question. How many of you, with show of hands, have felt overwhelmed with your workload ever? It's quite an audience. This was me 2 years ago. I was unmotivated, did not understand what I'm doing with high school, sitting right outside my class 5 minutes before the exam, trying to figure out, can I get a better grade? Well, it's chemistry as you see, and I'm studying business. Didn't turn out quite well with that. What I analyzed, what I really saw there was that I was so unmotivated and schools were so simple and so structured in a way that they were teaching what you need to learn, but not how you need to process, how you need to learn it. With SplendEd, we built a personalized e-learning platform with the idea behind providing autonomous learning where students can be the driver of their own journey. How do we do this? We are collaborating with schools, educators, psychologists within this field to provide the best for the students out there. So when a student starts out with us, they start with goal setting. The idea here is we together with them try to motivate them and set goals that they want to achieve within the week, be it getting better grades, be it kind of just improving, understanding a particular topic, or moving forward. With that, we go into scheduling. The idea of scheduling is that you space your time out so you can increase retention, you can kind of remember more content, and you can focus on what you're doing. The backbone is the study sessions. Working closely together with psychologists, we built this idea of testing. The idea here is you learn more information when you test yourselves, rather sitting there with a textbook of 500 pages and you try to read 20 pages at once. You're not processing information there. We go into reporting, where we analyze student data, student behavioral data, so that teachers get the right information to intervene with the students at the right point and support them. We close the whole loop with reflection, where students can reflect on their progress so that they can set higher goals and attainable goals for the next week. We started out with international schools due to the high degree of innovation and standardized content. Just 1 month of content can help me target 853 schools all over Europe and 250 just in Germany. We started out SplendEd in 2021 and we collaborated with 4 schools to co-create our product. Now, the idea here is we went to each school every month showing our concept, showing the teachers what we have built and progressing. And in 2022, in November, we launched our pilot, and within just 2 months, we got 60+ students on our platform, 175 learning sessions completed, and we built 6 months of chemistry content focusing on STEM subjects currently. Now, what do the students say about it? Students found it structured. They could relate to the content. They could prepare for the learning materials. They could focus on what they're doing. Keeping that in mind, with SplendEd, we envision to be much higher than high schools. We want to scale out so that we can support students learning from 0 to 100 throughout their journey. And currently, we have 4 partners, and we want to end our quarter with 5 partners to finish product testing. And we want to go towards AI development so that we launch personalization by the end of the year. Keeping that in mind, giving back to the society has been really close to our heart with education. We focus on SDG goals, and we are in collaboration with BCG at schools, as you would know. And the idea here is that we bring BCG into schools or our partners so that they can provide the information of real-life experience and expertise for them. Our founding team shares a similar passion because we all come from the high school experiences, and we want to change the future of learning together so that the future of students do not see the same problem that they saw today, or we saw today. We have also been advised by our advisory team that helps us grow and expand to our goals that we want to achieve. Currently, we are also raising 300K to help us reach the goal of where we want to be with AI development at the end of the year and scale out. Thank you very much. My name is Rishabh, and I would like to connect with you, show you what we have built outside. Thank you.
Thank you, Rishabh. Thank you. Panelists, any questions?
Thank you, Rishabh, for the presentation. Can you talk about the business model and how you earn money with that?
Yep. So we are B2B SaaS focused. We're directly collaborating with the schools, and we ask the schools to pay us on a yearly basis. Our pilot works on a freemium model where the first 2 months is completely free for the schools to get used to it, and then we start paying for them for the pre-money revenues.
Thank you.
I would like to ask about your go-to-market strategy. I mean, working with private schools is one thing because you are really on the B2B domain. What about moving to the largest sector, which is a B2G domain, where you have to deal with government-owned or administered kind of schools?
Starting out with international schools was just to get our idea and concept validated. We want to go to the government just in Germany and show them what results we have built with SplendEd, what change we have created for students, so that they think of us as a valuable contender from just going from normal 0.
Thank you very much, Rishabh. Okay, so our next company, our next startup is DigitalsocialID. And what you need to know about its founder, Simon Molitor, is that he loves to build things, not only companies though. Actually, he has been on stages many times as a bodybuilder, competing on several competitions, but today he's not going to flex his muscles. He will talk about his company and how individuals navigating Web3 can actually enhance their digital identity with their solution. So, Simon.
Test. Cool. All right. So, Sebastian, may I ask you a question? Do you trust me? Exactly, but trust is the basis for every, thank you, human interaction, right? For every interaction in business, but also on a personal level. But to trust a person, you have to know each other. And this is something that doesn't really work quite well in what we call Web 3.0. In Web 3, there are wallets, digital wallets, interacting with businesses, not humans, technically, interacting with businesses. So a digital wallet can have many different faces behind its numeric identifier. They could be bots hiding and trying to invade a decentralized application. They could even be criminals lurking in the shadows. And who here wants to do business with criminals? No hands, please. Thank you. So there could also be reputable people behind a wallet, like my co-founder Pierre or myself. So the problem that I'm talking about is that there's no way right now how to quickly assess a wallet's reputation in one single snapshot. And where does this current reality lead to? Well, it leads to the harsh fact that every wallet gets treated the same. No matter who's behind it, your reputation currently doesn't matter because we just don't know better. Now, let me give you an example. I will turn to Sebastian again. So let's say Sebastian wants to buy a brand new car and he lost all his money in his last investment. So he needs to take out a loan from a decentralized finance application. To take out 10,000 euros, you have to put down double the amount as collateral. That's pretty stupid because it's a loan for rich people if you have to put down double the amount of the loan. So why does this happen? Because the protocol doesn't know him. They don't know that it's Sebastian and that he's actually a reputable man behind his wallet. So that's the problem, and that's also why we created Digital Social ID, because we're adding a layer of trustworthiness on top of your anonymous on-chain interactions. And let me explain you a little bit more in detail in a simplified process how it works. So let's say Sebastian engages in a trust-building activity in the internet, like, for example, paying back his loan and not getting liquidated. That's a good thing, right? That speaks for him. Now, he can connect to our platform with his personal crypto wallet. He then can integrate also to his decentralized application, his decentralized finance application that he used to take a loan from. We can receive data from there, and what we will do is issue something that we call a social attestation token. That is technically an NFT. You might have heard about it, right? And this NFT represents his actions in the internet. It stores value, data that says Sebastian paid back his loan. Now, important side fact, you cannot trade this NFT. It's strictly non-transferable. That's very important. Now, you can collect different attestation tokens from different protocols and services. We use them to compute an overall score in your reputation category. But credit reputation is only one category, because we believe that your digital identity in the internet is far more than just your financial self. This is why we take a wide range and a diverse set of credentials to build different reputation pools. Now, what's the added value here? It is for the user to finally own your digital reputation by yourself in your custodial crypto wallet. It's also to bridge your Web 2 identity from LinkedIn to Web 3, for example. And of course, having a good reputation score on the internet will help you to get incentives and benefits from our ecosystem business partners. And what's in it for them? Well, at the end of the day, they can build an audience of reputable accounts. It's super important. No bots, no criminals. They can also target specific wallets based on their reputation metrics, also very important for Web3. And finally, they can cut financial losses, which is also very important for businesses in general. Now, the product is great. How big is the market? Let me tell you, it's huge. It's growing 50% every year, more than 50%. And blockchain technology is here to stay. It's here to grow. And we're looking at 368 billion market for decentralized applications by 2027. Now, does it work? Well, we're trying to prove it with a proof of concept, and it's going live in the next 7 days. It's our first social attestation token for one of the largest decentralized finance applications that stores your credit reputation on an NFT. That's pretty cool. Now, who's building all this stuff? Well, I like to say that we're a very potent cocktail of talents, because we have it all. We have Mohak, who's a full-stack blockchain developer with more than 5 years experience in the game. Then we have Pierre, who's my co-founder. He's a seasoned marketing expert. He sold digital products worth far more than €1 million, and he can do it again. And then we have me, and I do the talking, usually, right? You need that guy in the team. But on top of that, I also studied at Frankfurt School. I learned how to solve problems, how to find problems, and not only in Frankfurt School, also during my career as a venture capitalist in the last 2 years. Now, one side fact, last but not least, Pierre and myself, we know each other since elementary school, so we like to stick together. So now it's your turn. You have to scan this QR code. I need to see your phones now, because I want you to access our early access list, where we have already more than 350 people waiting for our first version to go online, just to stay in the loop. And now, give me 2 more seconds. For the business angels and investors in the room, it's time to make some honest money in crypto for once. So please join us on our journey, talk to us outside, and I'm happy to kick off the conversations for our pre-seed round that's going to happen in a couple of months. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Simon. Panelists, your questions.
Give it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're basically the Schufa of the Web3, right?
Reverse.
Okay.
We're the reverse Schufa, because we don't go negative, we go positive.
Okay.
But good question.
And how do you make money?
That's also a good question. we charge our clients, first of all, right? But that's not the answer. We don't take money from individuals, so we're subsidizing the users because we want to gain traction quickly. So if you mint a token through us, we don't charge money for that, but we charge businesses to get data insight. So we're like an analytics service for businesses that want to see what history is behind a crypto wallet. So if they want to have an insight there, they make a query, and every query they get charged 5 cents, and we can scale this up until many queries. If they have too many queries, they change into a subscription model where we charge them annually.
Thank you.
Another quick question, possibly?
Quick one?
Yeah.
Give me one more.
What happens if somebody super well rated gets what he needs or she needs?
Someone what?
What if somebody super well rated on your platform gets what she or he needs, but then cannot pay?
Well, then you have a risk, obviously still, that we try to mitigate and to minimize through our rating, but we cannot eliminate the risk at all, right? So that's called risk mitigation, I guess. That's what we do, but we cannot take it off the table 100%.
Yet.
Yet.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you so much. All right, so guys, we're actually above the halfway through. So we had 4 startups showing, if you want to. Thank you so much. We have 4 startups behind us, 3 more to go. The next one is Mynt. Now, I'm into sustainability and sustainable development goals, and Mynt actually meet that. The speaker is Felix Dinisch. He's a Scrum Master. He founded Mynt together with his high school friend Mark. And if you've noticed, many of our startups here actually founders and that knew each other from early stages of their lives. He loves all kinds of sports, especially American football, and he did his MBA here, class of 2020. Felix Dinisch, the stage is yours.
Into your home. So why does it need a revolution, you may ask? Well, the problem we've identified, and most of you can relate, shopping for paint products in a hardware store is just like such huge pain. You have too many choices, too many colors to pick from. The time you spend in a hardware store takes ages, and there's no support of anybody helping you to find the perfect color. And then on top, everybody can tell paint products smell pretty bad, which is because they have harmful chemicals that are bad for the environment, but also for your home, actually. So don't worry, we set up to find a pretty amazing solution, and that is Mynt. And actually, we are completely reinventing the shopping experience. So we have a curated assortment of 50 colors, specifically for end consumers and paint professionals. We use tech, and this is a key factor of our solution, to provide a seamless and convenient shopping experience that is super easy. And on top, the whole concept of Mynt is fully sustainable. And this solution translates into innovative and eco-friendly products. So on the left-hand side, for example, you see our color tags that are large in size and coated with real paint as opposed to the small color snippets you know from the hardware store. You can peel and stick them to the wall and get a pretty amazing idea of how the color would look like in your interior. And what makes us really unique in the market, actually, is the paint product itself, because it's based on natural and biodegradable ingredients. So we use the essence of wheat and corn instead of mineral oil, which all other conventional paint products are using at the moment. And we have received 3 international certificates that prove the quality as well as this sustainable approach we have. Next to the product, we also heavily invested into technology. We have first launched a color visualizer, which allows you to project the colors we have into your living space to get an even better idea of how the color works. And then we also launched Europe's first digital paint mixing solution, the Mix and Match. And what it allows you is to pick any color you would like. It's very individual. So for example, if you only paint Ferrum Ball, which is quite expensive and shitty in quality, but you like this shade, you can just type it in and you get the mint quality shipped right to your doorstep. Or you also, and I take you on a journey, maybe find inspiration on Pinterest. You like this blue shade. So you just upload a picture on our website, we extract this blue color, and yeah, we mix and match it right to your doorstep. Pretty easy, right? So not only the mix and match market, actually the whole paint market is quite large in size. It's 23 billion in Europe and 3 billion in DACH. We first started with targeting young families, and we are now set to target paint professionals as well. Where are we standing, where are we heading? So we started with Mynt last year in February. We have made 150,000 euros in net revenue so far, with very little marketing invest. We have more than 3,000 happy customers, quite an attractive market basket size of 100 euro, and we also have clear plans on how we want to expand our product range. And with that all being said, we are raising 500,000 in funds to grow our business to the next level for our seed round. Most of the funds are planned to go into marketing and into setting up the distribution network for paint professionals. Last but not least, who's the team? It's my co-founder, Mark. He has a vast experience in marketing and formerly founded a design agency. I myself used to work as a business developer before at Zalando. We managed to get Karl-Heinz on board. He's the former CEO of the largest paint manufacturer in Germany. And we also received the first convertible loan mid of last year. And as you can tell, we are all smiles. So are our happy customers. And so can you be, which brings me to the last slide. I'd be happy if I was able to convince some of you to join our mission either as a customer, happy customer, as an advisor, supporter, or also as a happy and a successful investor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Felix. Panelists.
Okay, I feel like I'm always asking questions, but I guess it's our job. But what are your main marketing channels? Because I love the product, but like it's very niche, I guess, and maybe you can elaborate on that part.
Yeah. So we're making use of other platforms like Westwing, for example, cooperating with bigger brands, also like Jonique in the market, and get like customers from this side. And then we're also using the digital channels mainly, so Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. And what's working actually quite well recently is referrals through other pages as well.
Price-wise, are you in a good place in terms of competition with the other products?
Yeah, I think so. So we are cheaper than the premium brands like Ferrum Ball and also like Caparol. And actually also the current market circumstances are playing into our favor because we use natural ingredients which are quite stable in price, while the competitors are using mineral oil, which is strongly increasing. So we're also confident we can keep our price levels.
Thank you very much. All right. Last one before the last ones is actually two. StatElite. Two founders are going to come on stage in a few minutes, and their names is Neil and Niels. It's actually Nilesh Bala, which is a graduated from IIT Roorkee, which is Asia's legacy engineering college. Nilesh likes to play lawn tennis, read and engineer data science hobby projects in his spare time. And his partner in crime, Niels Martinsen, He's a seasoned horse rider and core eco-optimist at heart. When he's not working, he likes to engage in finance-based projects, so he's basically always working, but at least they're doing what they love. I invite you, Neil and Niels, to share your startups with the audience.
Good evening. Hi, my name is Nilesh, and this is my dear friend Niels. We are data science students at Frankfurt School. Other than sharing similarities in our names, we also share common interests in sustainable finance and technology. And that's one of the reasons why we stand here. Having work experience at some of the prestigious organizations in the past, we are leveraging our experience to build StatElite, and we stand before you to pitch our idea here. All right, a quick show of hands. How many of you would ever want to invest in sustainable and impactful projects in the future? All right, so we are at the right place. Here's the challenge. Investors have a difficult time fact-checking ESG data when it comes to investing in sustainable projects. And why is that the case? Because there's greenwashing. The data is greenwashed, it's scattered, it's vague, it's outdated. And moreover, the process of collecting this data is tedious, it's costly, it's error-prone because there are humans involved, and that makes it inefficient. And we at StatElite are solving exactly that. We provide ESG sentiments backed by satellite data in a single click. How do we do that? So investors can come to our platform. They can enter a company or an entity of their choice, along with date filters. Our engine then collects intel from 4 data sources. These are news letters, news publications, social media, company filings, and legal databases. We then extract insights. We then extract real-time insights from these databases. We filter out noise using deep learning algorithms. And then, here's the catch, we add a layer of truth. We believe that nothing can be hidden from satellites, and we can leverage the potential of Earth observation to see how the claims against pollutions and emissions are, to what extent they are true. And then you get this beautiful dashboard with environmental, social, and governance footprints of the company that you chose. So essentially, there are 2 technologies in action here. The first 2 parts of the product are driven by machine learning, and the second part of it is Earth observation.
So let's take a closer look at the dashboard. It is structured into the 3 main columns of environmental, social, and governance data. And each one is interactive, so you can dive into more detail as needed by your company or your stakeholders. And we actually did a POC late last year with NO2 pollution over Germany in the time frame of 2018 to 2022. And you can see it on the left here. And we found out that single entities like a chemical plant or a power plant actually have a similar footprint to whole cities like Hamburg, Berlin, or Munich. But you don't just compare them to these other cities. You can compare them to their competitors or to the industry as a whole to find hidden champions or to identify those that lag behind. Same goes for social and governance aspects. By using natural language processing, you can really get into the details of what's out there. We plan to offer this dashboard as a monthly subscription. On top of that, every data point will be available via a pay-per-click API. So we are tapping into a growing market with a compounded annual growth rate of 17%. That is expected to hit 16 billion by 2027. There is some competition, although this real-time sentiment analysis with an additional independent data source to fact-check that is quite unique. So our timeline is that we want to go live with the beta in the summer of this year, together with 1 or 2 clients, and also to cooperate closely with them on our way there to really meet industry needs perfectly.
Towards the end of the year, we want to get our version 1 going with a handful of clients and then expand from there. So we are standing here today because we are looking for these strategic partnerships. We are absolutely passionate about this kind of technology, and we would love to tell you more at our booth later on this evening. We are StatElite, and we are on a mission to make ESG more transparent, all in all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Neil and Niels. Panel.
Could you elaborate a little bit about your customers? How are you going to sell it?
So our customers, we are initially targeting a segment of investors, whether institutional or people like us, you and me. The idea is to sell them the idea is to basically empower them with machine learning and health observation and give them a capability to make more informed decisions whenever they're going out for ESG investments.
So it's actually a SaaS platform for investment houses? And
Yes. It's a SaaS-based model. We offer dashboards and APIs to the investors.
How accurate is your algorithm? So how good is it in predicting?
Right. So the accuracy is, or so to say, the precision is dependent on the sensors that go on the satellites. And we know with the growth of private sector, these are getting better and better. And we plan to control this by establishing a solid supply chain in the near future.
But you can actually look at certain entities, and for example, with COVID, you can observe that dip in pollution around a production plant, for example. So that was actually quite interesting to look at and to see that you can see these minor fluctuations in very small radiuses.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Niels, StatElite. Fantastic. So we're about to watch the final startup for today. The actual name of the startup is PeopleEat. So yeah, I know you probably want to eat a bit and the food is waiting for us outside in just a few more minutes. But they realized that food connects people, right? So what you need to know about their founder, the co-founder, Daniel Merkel, is that he used to play ice hockey professionally for 17 years. Then he stopped his sports career and became a salesperson. And then he decided that he wants to combine his passion for food, for cooking, for sales, for people, into a business called PeopleEat. So without further ado, Daniel, our last startup for today.
Good start. So, hi everybody. My name is Daniel. I'm the co-founder of PeopleEat. This is Ram. Everybody knows Ram, right? So, Ram has a great team, and he was looking for an exceptional experience to say thank you to them. But he didn't want to go to a restaurant over the corner. And yeah, he was looking for something very special for them. And of course, Ram was not thinking about hiring a private chef, because private chefs are very expensive. They're working on yards, and nobody knows really how to find them. So we have changed it. With our platform, we provide accessibility to culinary experiences delivered by private chef to your home. Hiring a private chef was never easier before. You will choose your preferred location, you create your menu with your individual preferences, and you will enjoy your evening with your loved ones. And now I will show you in a few seconds how PeopleEat works. So, chef comes to your home with all the ingredients. It is not just cooking. You will also get unique insights what chefs are doing in the kitchen, and you can talk directly to them, take photos, make videos, and the chefs take care of everything. And you will get a unique experience to share it with your loved ones. And you don't have to clean the kitchen afterwards. Our total available market for event catering is 53 billion worldwide. In Europe, 23. In Germany, 2 billion. We know that 50% of bookings made online. So we take a niche of 1 billion euros in Germany. Let's take a free-cost menu for 4 person. So the average booking of our platform is 400 euros. And we take a commission of 18%. And the rest goes directly to the chef. During our MVP, so PeopleEat already runs, we onboarded 25 chefs. They served for almost 200 guests and made a revenue of 17,000 euros with no marketing expenses. So who are PeopleEat? We are a team of 5. So me, Daniel, and Natalia as the co-founder. I bring a sales background, and Natalia works in finance. Jem is our developer, and he brings strong IT skills on board. We also have 2 private chefs in our team, and they bring industry expertise. Yeah, after our successful launch for our MVP, we are planning to go online with our iOS app soon. And next, we want to go live with our new website, and in the end of the year, we want to go live with the Android app. So, in this year, we plan to operating in 3 cities, in Frankfurt, Munich, and Cologne. Currently, we are looking for an investment of 400K for 18 months. So, 20 years ago, it was unfamiliar to order food from restaurants to your home. It has changed. 5 years ago, it was unfamiliar to order high-quality food from Michelin restaurants. It has changed too. And now we take the boundary we push the boundary into the next level to bring private chefs to your home. And yeah, last but not least, do you have any plans for Valentine's Day? So talk to me outside, and we will find a unique experience for you. Thank you very much.
I'm not sure. Okay. You remember when Ram spoke, he said that startups always have to give a call to action. And that's what you just did. You gave us a call to action about Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and actually, it was a real story. Yeah?
Panel.
Hello. So, why only 25 chefs?
Yeah, good question. During our MVP, we have acquired 25 chefs, and we realized very quickly that our technical capabilities are very limited, and that's why we stopped onboarding chefs on our platform and go more focused onto our product.
So super interesting case for me. My family has been in the food business for more than 50 years. My question, I've got a ton of questions, but my question would be, how do you source your chefs? And is your goal long-term that the chefs do this full-time? Or is it more of a side hustle as an extra money for them?
Yeah, very interesting. We are not only focused on private chefs who run their business already. We segmented our chefs into 3 levels. We have the first level is they are private chefs running their own business. The second level are chefs, employees working for restaurants, for example. And the third level are hobby chefs as myself, maybe one of you. And yeah, there are foodies, and we have 10 million foodies in Germany. So we want to ensure also quality standards, of course, to onboard them. That's why we also get very quickly to our limited capabilities, yeah, in the MVP.
Thank you.
Thank you. Only 10 million foodies? I'm sure there are more. I'm sure there are more. All right, you can leave it here. Put it here. That's fine. Thank you so much. All right, so thank you, PeopleEat. Thank you, Mynt. Thank you, StatElite. Thank you, DigitalsocialID. Thank you, Homestead. Thank you, TrustSpace. Thank you, SplendEd. And these were our remarkable 7 startups from Frankfurt School and Entrepreneurship Center First Accelerators. So guys, big round of applause. Woo. They deserve it. So what's next? We really hope to see them grow and flourish, and remember that you saw them first. Now, before we finish, another quick thanks. Thanks to our partners, Amazon Web Services, AWS. Thanks to the business angel, Frankfurt Rhein-Main. Thank you to Angela Werner, the Vice President of Strategic Relations here at Frankfurt School. Thank you to Shoham, the Director of the Entrepreneurship Center. Woo! Thank you to our amazing panelists and, of course, the team. I know you've been thanked already at the beginning, but really, it wouldn't have happened without your amazing, amazing work. So thank you, everyone. Christina, Gotham, Bodhi, Amir Sadra, Kai, and everyone involved. Guys, before we leave, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Before we leave outside to keep on network and drink and talk to the startups, we have to do a group selfie. And Ram is actually one of the world's experts in doing group selfies. So we're lucky, right?
So all the startups, please come here. The mentors and the panelists, please, everybody over here. We'll do one group photo, and then we will turn around and do a selfie. And then let's eat and drink.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, come on. Where's the photographer? Yeah, photographer here. Maybe we stand in front of this. How do we do this? זה לא זז, נכון? No, this doesn't move. I think we go more here because he's taking it from that direction. Let's go to this side. Yes, more near. Where should we stand? Where are you taking the picture from? Like this? Okay. Cool. Angelika. Nadim.
Yeah. Michael, you want to go? Kadima?
Bo.
Maybe we can.
Where's the camera?
Where's the camera?
More light?
Yeah, we're waiting.
Lights. Lights on. Come.
Yeah, I'm coming.
I don't know yet.
1, 2.
That way. There's the camera. Yeah. Smile. Yeah, we will do. Okay, so when I count to 3, we say exit. 3, 2, 1, exit! Yeah, and... what? Exit again? Okay, IPO! 1, 2, 3, IPO! It's a video. What do we do? 3, 2, 1, exit! IPO. Wait, let's do a selfie, guys. Selfie. Come on, do we fit? Do we fit? 3, 2, 1, exit! Cool. Huh? They left. Don't worry. It's good. Yeah, I'll send it around. תודה, תודה. Thank you so much.